Hey, come on. Hey everybody, this is Robert with Archery. I wanted to start a new video type series. I don't know if I want to label it a vlog, but it'll be kind of similar to that. Just kind of talking about myself, some shooting that I'm going to do. Maybe even pulling up stuff on Archery Talk, looking at different topics, things like that to talk about. I can showcase some things and talk through more details on it that way. Just a little bit different than my normal Tuesday tip of the weeks. Now I'm still going to do those videos. They'll be out each Tuesday, but I wanted to have something else just different, just a normal viewing here. And just try to make it different every week. If there's something going on within, my archery life or whatever's going on at the time, just showcase that, give you some different footage, something to, tune into, just something to watch and everything. So I wanted to start out this first one and just talk a little bit about myself. I have a lot of people at times that'll, over time rather, that have asked me, how did I get my start in archery? Just different things like that, and just kind of my story. So this would be a good, place to showcase it. I'm going to keep it kind of brief. I won't get too big into detail, but at least give you a little bit of idea. Basically, I started shooting when I was younger. Started with my dad, and I didn't get too into it. I was more into dirt bikes and four-wheelers and stuff like that. So I didn't focus on the shooting so much and kind of migrated over to just the riding, racing, stuff like that. Within that, I learned a lot of things just looking at the sports science side of it, looking at biomechanics, looking at hydration, fitness, just different things like that, how the body works, how things go, and studied a lot about that. That was something within my generation that kind of became more prevalent within racing and training and being a little bit more serious about it. So I studied a lot on that just to learn about it myself and to help me with my riding, help me with my racing, things like that. And I've taken a lot of that and brought it over into archery when I got back into it several years ago, and that's kind of helped me and tailored different things about the way that I shoot and the way that I approach the subject on it. So about 10 years ago now, I had a buddy of mine. He was just getting into archery himself, got a bow, hounded me for weeks to shoot with him and be hanging out at his house. He wanted to, have me try his bow out. So I put him off as long as I could because I knew that as soon as I decided to, it'd probably be something that I wanted to keep doing. I knew I enjoyed it when I was a kid, and it'd probably be something that I'd want to keep working with. So eventually one day I caved, I gave in, and I grabbed his bow and shot it, and did well enough that day to outshoot what he had been doing. He had been shooting for about, 2 months or so, and funny enough, kind of frustrated him, but being my competitive spirit and being who I was, especially with him, it was one of my really good friends, so I like to be extra competitive with him. So that was kind of fun, and that got me hooked. I found a cheap, just generic, easy to use bow, and picked that one up, started using it, just kind of getting back into the flow of it. Missed the target a lot of times, sailed some arrows out into out in the dirt and all kinds of fun stuff, and used the brick of our house as a backstop for a little bit in a corner that I had, and that wasn't a good idea either. So I did that right at first for first month or so, but it really just started from there. We shot in the backyard or whatever, at a range or whatever we wanted to do, and just kind of had fun and friendly competition between us and a couple other our friends, and kind of enjoyed ourselves. And eventually I decided to get a little bit more serious into it, and picked up some different bows along the way, and got more into it, more into the target side and everything too. So that was kind of how everything progressed. And then at that point, I started looking into more of the research side, just like I did with the dirt bike stuff. Hey, come on. Come here. Come on. Wrangler, come here. Come on. Can't go running off. Come on. Come back here and say hi. Can you say hi? I'm a helper with me. Who wants to run around everywhere? Yeah. Okay. So with that, I started getting a little bit more serious. Started looking for different ways to help myself out. I knew general principles on what I was wanting to do. Hey. Come on. Out. So then at that point, everything kind of changed for me. Big thing that I've always done, I've always pretty much been self-taught in everything that I've done. The racing side, dirt bikes, riding techniques, everything like that. Did a lot of studying, a lot of video studies, read as much information as I could, everything like that. Because to me, if I'm going to do something, if I'm going to invest my time into a sport or an activity or a hobby or whatever it is, I pretty much go all in. It's just kind of the way that I'm wired, I guess. So I did the same thing with archery. I had a good idea on what I did, what I looked for and what I did already. I was really big on, the biomechanics side, how the body works, how it would work in part with the bow and making all that go together, and then just went from there. Searched for tons of information. I found Archery Talk at that point, started reading a lot of stuff on the forum, started finding information from there. I started looking at professional archers, looking through what they have, and then one day had the TV on and came across Knock On. So that's kind of why I'm wearing this shirt today. It's a big influence on me. I came on the Knock On TV program, so the hunting show that John Dudley did, or still does rather, and found John on there. So I started researching him, found his website, found tons of articles that he's written. Also, and on the show, obviously he's always had his tech tips and just different things like that. So started reading through his information and his articles and found that he had a lot of the same principles that I already did as well, as far as biomechanics, lining your body up, the way everything works, just different things like that. So I took tons of time reading through his information, trying to replicate it, trying to reproduce it, trying to figure it all out. And that's been a lot of the basis behind what I've done. There's been other things obviously along the way, other things that I've read and watched and things like that I've done too, but that's been the biggest influence in what I've done. And I owe a lot to the success that I've had personally through archery to John Dudley and what I've read. Read, watched, everything like that. So, big shout out to that, big supporter of that, the Knock On Nation, everything like that. That's been about it. Self-taught as well in archery. I've never really had any formal coaching. The video side of it, I was already videoing myself on, dirt bike racing and riding and stuff like that to study myself and try to help out. Did the same thing with archery. Got a camera, videoed myself, started watching it. I would talk through things as I would video it. Just say, okay, this felt better, this is what I'm doing, this is what I changed, this is what I'm working on today, and then I would use that as reference. And then, as far as getting into helping others, having my YouTube channel, having my instructional videos, stuff like that, that really started because a girlfriend I had at the time was helping her as well, and we were replaying, watching some of the videos, and she recommended, hey, you should do these, you should help people, you should put these out, people would watch that. So that's really where it all started. I did one and didn't like feeling like I was talking to an audience, so I was really clammed up and wasn't talking very loud and just wasn't myself. And I put it up. It took a while, but I finally put it up on a YouTube channel. Didn't really like it. I've taken it down since then and replaced it, but that was kind of the beginnings of it. And of course my blog, that's been about 3 years now, I believe. and just a lot of good out of that. A lot of articles that I've written, works that I've cited and put in there, people that have helped me that I can give back to them as far as having a tab on my blog. There's hey, different people that I've liked, Jerry at South Shore, John Dudley, One Stringer, Twisted Expo Strings, just stuff like that along the way. So I always try to add that in there so that people can help support the people that I believe in, because I can stand behind their product or stand behind them. So that's a big part of it too. But just really just enjoying it. I enjoy archery. I have a lot of fun with it. The competition side, and I get asked that from time to time. What competitions have you go to? I don't find you when I look your name up. Different things like that. So just kind of to address that as well. You're not going to find my name out there in all of that. And there's a couple reasons, and I can talk through to a point as to one and not as to some. But the past 9 years, I've been in segments of the financial industry and corporations and companies and just different backgrounds like that, helping out just throughout the different channels, and that's been twofold as to why you won't see me with a lot of competition stuff. One, I didn't have time for the longest, or time given to me, I guess would be the best way to put it, to be able to do that. I didn't have the personal time on the weekends. I wasn't able to devote to that. I wasn't given the personal time to take out to go to a competition, even just the local ones. I mean, it was scratching here and there just even to make it to any of that, because I didn't have that time. Whether it was being at home or not, or being at work, or just the hours, the schedule, the time being in there, whatever it may be. And then the second part to all of that is, due to the most recent time frame in there and what I was doing, I wasn't allowed to do it and have my name in there and have what I was doing and to get into that. I wasn't allowed it. Any outside activity, pretty much anything, any outside activity that you were going to be doing, your name was going to be out there. Anything you were going into in that field had to be pre-approved prior. It went through 4 different channels, 4 different people, segments, levels, and they all had to agree and they all had to say yes. And it just never worked out that way. You weren't going to get your personal information out there, your name. You just weren't. So if I did go to anything, when I had time, and at times I did, I was given some opportunities to have some free time to be able to do that here and there. And when I would go to it, it was either practice days, leagues, or if it was a tournament, I didn't turn anything in. It was talk to the owner of the club or the range or wherever it might have been and say, okay, here's my situation. I'd like to register. I'd like to do this. I'll pay my fees. I'll pay my dues. But nothing can come out of that. I can't put my name in. I can't turn a card in. I can't put my name out there. I can't have any of that because I wasn't allowed. Plain and simple. So yeah, I mean, in the past, you're not going to see a lot of that. Now I have changed fields of employment and different things. So and that's been a recent change in the past couple of months. So I do have a little bit more free time now. I do have some ability now to be able to go out and do things like that and put my name out there and to be able to enter into things and have fun with them. So that's something, hopefully you'll see more of. Hopefully I'll have the time to get out and do it now and just along the way hit some, and enjoy it and be able to, maybe have some stuff to hang up on the wall, some target faces or, some, hardware to bring home. So that'd be kind of fun. That's a pretty cool thing for me to look forward to. Personally though, just with the business side, that's something that I've been enjoying. RC Archery, of course started out as a blog and now it's turned into more of a business with coaching that I don't do so much anymore on my own. Usually it's if people have questions, they'll come to me, they'll ask me, talk to them over the phone, talk to them on Archery Talk to them through email and just say, okay, here's what I think you should do, go. And that's pretty much it. I don't do a whole lot of formal coaching. That may change here coming up in the near future with an endeavor that I've got working on right now with a different company, a different thing going through. So that may change. We'll see. And then, of course, the hard parts, true ball, Carter, Bulldog, archery targets, last chance archery presses, all their stuff, all that going on. And then some of my own stuff that's coming out. I've got an arrow rest blade that I am in the process of getting built. Biggest thing was trying to find the materials. I got the materials, and now I am working, trying to get everything finalized on it and get a production model out that I can sell and give to the public, that I won't be just testing on my own to make sure everything is working. So I'm looking forward to that, and that's exciting. I won't give too many details out about it, but it'll be coming out. Probably patent pending, coming out pretty soon, hopefully, and that'll be kind of fun. I'm going to try to get that out as soon as I can. Hopefully have it for the end of outdoor season, but it may come out during the winter. It may be something that maybe people can pick up for the outdoor season next year. And then just trying to hassle true ball for a 2-finger HT or something, something similar to that. So we'll see how that works. I know the thread that you've seen on Archery Talk that I've asked to try to, build some in on that, see if people will do it. So we'll see how that works. And then just see what their time frame looks like. From my understanding, they have a couple new things coming out with the Abyss and the Fulcrum, some new updates to that, some new things they're working on. That's going to be primary on their list because of the situation with it. And that totally understandable. So maybe I'll even get something out of that I can use and have some fun with. There's some other companies that I've talked to and just see, what we can do along the way. But that's, kind of the wrap up point for me on this, and appreciate you watching through it. If you made it all the way through it, it's just me talking on this one, so it's probably kind of boring, but I try to give out at least some information about me. Maybe you can get to know me a little bit better, get to understand my situation, and answer some questions maybe that you've had in the past as well. I'm going to do this just as a random whatever thing. Like I said, I may look at things on Archery Talk and just pick threads to talk through. I may look at forum stuff on there and pick those through and talk about them to where I can show my personal examples on what I'm talking about. It's going to be me shooting. I'm going to have some shooting here at my house, different fun stuff with different types of targets to do. It'll probably be some of that, maybe going to the range, or like I did picking up my bow, stuff like that. So I'm going to put out some stuff on the way. If you have any suggestions, topics you want, questions for me that you'd like for me to address on one of these, comment down below. Put it in the description, put it below the description in the comments. Let me know. I'd be glad to look through them, and I'll hit on every one of them that I can. If I don't know the answer, I'll find somebody that does. I'll put it on there for you too. And every week I'll probably put something out on my Instagram and just say, hey, I'm gonna be filming for a video in the next couple days. If you've got anything, lay it on me. So just look out for that as well. Instagram is RC Archery, just the same as all my stuff. I appreciate you watching the video. Talking, long-winded today, and if you endured through that, I appreciate that. Keep an eye out for some more content coming out with some more of these, my Tuesday tip of the weeks, the Instagram, and all that good stuff. And we'll talk to you soon.